All right. Well, that's always a race to see if I can get it done before. So it's a race to see if I can get it done before it comes up, before the stuff ends. So, right. Let's go back. I gotta go back to there. We go. Bobies. All right. Good evening. Welcome to the Russell Journal. My name is Russell Liss, and this is from 10 to a million. So this is about the journey of my uh, basically my comeback from my downfall to $10. Hopefully, to will be $1 million win. By the time I'm done, at least $1 million. So this is the goal. That's the dream. That's the vision. We're gonna try and do it. See if we can pull it off in a couple years' time. So that'll be good. We will start today with the update on my account, and you can see today that we gained $2.88. We have started the climb back up. Now, I did that today with $10 only in my account. So I bought one call option for about $6 or $7. And I sold it for $10. So we had about a $3 win. All right. Now, this is not normal for trading, but it's also not normal to trade with a $10 account. As you can see, we have a balance of $160 in there. That came gift from my father, $150. So I was very happy to have that. I will be adding more cash to this. I've got a couple items that I'm trying to sell right now that when I do that, I will add them to the account and we'll use that to bolster what we're doing. Okay. So I'll talk about really kind of my mind and my preparation now for tomorrow. Those of you who don't know me, or maybe those of you who do, I was a chef for 20 years in the culinary industry. Well, I wasn't a chef for 20 years. I was a chef for about 10 years, and I was in the culinary industry for about 20 years, okay? Give or take a few months / periods where I did nothing. But all in all, that was pretty much the only job I held for 20 years was working in the culinary industry. And when I was in there, I did go to culinary school and I did all of the things that you do to become a chef and to be a good chef. And so one of the things we talk about as a chef, and I was pretty good as a chef, is we call mental mise en place, right? They have a word in French called mise en place, okay? And mise en place really means everything in its place, okay? So every day when we finish up with the market and get ready to go to sleep and get ready to go to tomorrow, we really want to make sure that our mind is clear and in the right place. Okay. Now, something I've been doing, one of the other, I've made several mistakes, and you can go back and watch the videos and see me talk about the stuff I made that led me to my $10 downfall. Really trying to predict the direction of the market is something that is really, really, really a bad idea. It's going to go up or it's going to go down or whatever. And the thing is that, like, even if you're right, you can really be wrong because the way it goes up or the way it goes down. There may be money there. There may not be money there in the moves up and moves down. So really, if you're a trader, you need good, big, strong moves up. And if you flip short, you need good, strong moves to the downside. Okay, so you're really looking for these good downside moves and good, strong upside moves. And if you're in a market that is grinding one direction or another, if you are a trader, you're usually doing this because you have a small amount of capital. You have a little amount of capital, and you're trying to take this little amount of capital and grow it into something, or just use it to generate reoccurring revenue that you can use on, as some sort of salary. Okay, it's not all big $10,000 wins and we made so much money today. It's right. Like those days happen in the market. And I've had days where I've made 1,000 or 1,500, or I think my best was like I had a $2,000 day once. And, like you get those and they're nice. They're really, really nice. But on a day-to-day basis in any market, what you're looking at is with these markets is uh that you have to you have to sell these positions. You have to move out of them or buy them back, whatever. So really you need big moves up, big moves down. Sorry, I kind of lost my train of thought here. And so you're really looking for that sort of activity to happen. Now, the good news is if you're an investor, you hate this stuff because it's, not very good. Oh, that's what I was going to explain. So going back, if you're in a stock that's like grinding up, the problem is that you're grinding up when you have a stock grinding in the upward direction, right? And you're a trader and you're in that grind up. Anything can happen in that time that it keeps grinding up. And the other thing is, psychologically, as you see it grind up, your mind is going to play a trick on you. It's going to play a trick that says this is going to keep going, okay? And you will not pull out because you get greedy. You will be like, and the thing that sucks about it is if you have a rule that says, okay, well, it's grinding up, so I'll let it grind up to here and I'll sell, okay? Just in case it doesn't, and then every time this happens, you will remember it. It kept going, or you got to here, you sold, and then it keeps going past that. And you're like, oh, how did I not know it should have da 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 da. And the thing is that move you can't kick yourself for. You have to be happy that you set an entry, you set an exit, you bought when you said you're going to buy, under what conditions you said you would buy, and you sold where you said you were going to sell. You locked in your profit. Because I guarantee you, even as it keeps going past you, at some point it's going to come back down. Okay. And don't, if you're a trader, don't become an investor. You don't want to be an investor. You're like, but the trade keeps going for 3 days. It's okay. We'll come back tomorrow and go long again. It's fine, right? There's plenty of opportunities along the way. And the reason you're doing this is, again, small amount of capital. You're trying to keep it rolling. And if you defy that need to keep it rolling for the capture this huge, big old move, you are going to fuck yourself, okay? Because one of those trades is going to go up. It's going to go a little bit past, like, right? Okay, you got your sell spot. This is my line right here. Keeps going up, keeps going up, keeps going up. It's going to go up just a little bit past it and then completely reject. And that is going to take out all your profits, and it's going to take out and it's going to put you way past your stop loss. And your brain's going to play another trick on you, because as it goes, you got your flat, goes up. As it comes down, you go, but it just ground up so much there. It kept grinding up. It's got to come back, right? It's going to come back. It did so much work to get up there. And the truth of the matter is, if you're day trading stocks, it's never coming back. It's just not coming back. I'm sorry. And if it does, that's a different move. And by holding your position and not moving to when the next setup happens, you actually really screw yourself, and you keep yourself from making the real profit when the real profit shows up. Okay. So, okay. So, again, if you read the description under this video, and I hope somebody eventually does, because I feel like some of these things are really good pieces of writing for me. We have rules as traders, right? Obviously rule number 1 is protect your capital. Number 2, don't lose your capital. And 3, always take profit. Okay. These are the 3 probably fundamental rules, right? Then we also have the rules for trading, which are with the rules for trading, which are, for performing a trade, plan your trade, trade your plan. No FOMO, no chasing, no FOMO, no chasing, and don't hold any bags, right? If you lost on a trade, take the hit and walk away. Don't wait for it to come back. Don't hold and hope. If you're sitting there just holding and hoping, just waiting for that to come back, and it's gonna do it, you're fucked. No holding and hoping, right? So and holding and hoping is really gambling, and that's when the stock market becomes gambling. Is when it didn't work out and you don't move on. That's when gambling really starts. And I've pretty much in the last month and a half disrespected all of those rules. So this whole thing for me at this point is a return to the rules, return to the discipline. Being a trader is about discipline. It's about focus. It's about really being in touch and in charge of yourself, who you are and what you do, right? That is what being a trader is about. Sure, you make money, sure, you can make a lot of money very quickly, you can, but you can't do it consistently. You cannot do it consistently if you ignore the disciplines of being a trader. Okay, so I'm returning to that. This is the next big piece of my thing. So today I entered my position, I followed the chart, I read the moves, I had my setup there, right? I got a brand new EMA setup, which is really easy to follow and really good. So I really enjoyed that. And when it got to where I needed to take profit, I took profit. Now, here's the cool thing. I had $10 to buy a contract with, okay? I sold that for $3 more. So going into tomorrow, I have $13. This is the cool thing about tomorrow. First of all, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday on the ETFs like SPY, QQQ, and IWM, like these ETFs, these tickers, contracts are cheap. And they're cheap because the contracts reach of their expiration date. Their contracts are really only good for about a week. And so those 3 days, you reach your expiration date. So tomorrow, the cool thing is one of the things that affects the value of those contracts is how much time there is left to trade those contracts. So I get to start tomorrow with $13, which means I get to pay 13 cents per share of my contract for my contract. Okay. The good news about this is that can be the difference. When you trade contracts, you're buying the right to do something with a share or with stocks at a decided on price, right? So if a stock is trading at $100 and I buy an option to buy at $101, right? If it goes over $101, I can buy those shares and stuff like that. Now, again, I'm not going to go into a whole lesson about how options work because God knows I'd probably mess it up. But the thing is you can, if the stock is trading at $100, you can buy contracts at 101, 102, 103, 104, 105. Now, the closer those contracts are to the $100, the current $100 price, the more expensive they get, right? So at the top, you can have a top, let's say we get it to 110. That's the furthest we're looking, right? Well, at $10, I can afford a $110 contract, and hopefully we get somewhere close in that neighborhood that the intrinsic value of my option is worth more. Or it could be that $3 extra I have means I can spend 13 cents. So I can buy a $107 contract, which means the closer, maybe it only goes up to 105. Well, I sell that thing before, it comes back down or it expires and go from 100 to 105. I've made some money on that contract. The thing is the more money I can make means the closer it is to the current price, the closer my contract is to the current price, especially if I'm buying as it's trending upward, the more likely I am to make money on that contract. So the closer I get to that, is better. So I have a few extra bucks, like three extra dollars. So there's a pretty good chance we can get a better contract today than we got yesterday. So I'm very much so hoping for that. Now the real question is, what do I think that? How is this market going to behave? And I'll tell you, even though I can afford that tomorrow, there is a piece of my mind that says, we will see what happens. Okay. Because what I'm expecting tomorrow, we've had 3 days of pretty solid buying. Okay. Uh, One, I'm going to expect a bunch of people who have invested to want to take some money off the table. There's going to be some profit taking. I'm also expecting that with nobody knows what's going to happen with the Fed in March. So I'm going to expect that some of the retirement funds are going to start pulling some money out. Okay. Just because they want money to live on for the rest of the year. Plus, things are more expensive. So they might need more money. Okay. The last thing I'm going to say about that is when that happens, or if that happens, and you are bearish on this market, or there's a bunch of bears, the shorts will pile in to those moves, those sell-offs. Okay. So expect to see some pretty drastic downside. Okay. On the other side of that, the bulls have been driving it higher. And to be honest with you, unless they're really out of money, they might just push it, keep going, And if you look at your indexes, you're over the 6, you're over the 9, you're getting close to the 20-day moving average. And so there's no reason for it to not actually go to the 20-day before that selling starts to happen, or even touch the 50-day, which all the averages are inverted. There's not a lot of reason for that to happen. So they may do it, and I'll tell you, if I'm a retiree and I pay attention to the stock market, I'd probably wait, see if they did, and if they don't, then I'll pull whatever money out I need to live, and okay, that's life. But so that's kind of how I'm thinking about the market. I'm really expecting a nice game of push pull to start tomorrow. It kind of happened today. Somebody said, I saw an article about how we have choppy markets, and this all like barring getting some new COVID variant or COVID strain. Right now, you could say a war with Russia might do it, but I doubt it, and I doubt a war with Russia is happening. I doubt a war with China is happening. China's economy is getting ready to, it's already started its major collapse. It's definitely under more than a major correction as far as their housing market goes. So I would say that, there's a pretty good chance that, I would say they're going to continue. There's no reason not to. But the one thing somebody did point out was that we haven't gotten the fifth leg down of the Elliot wave for the corrective wave. So we are going to be due for that somewhere. So I'm going to keep an eye out for it. But that's kind of how I feel about things. So with all that being said, I am Russel List. This is the Russell Journal. Pretend I said some sort of catchphrase, and have a good night.